Before you roll that intro, you see who it is. I'm back. I'm back, baby. Roll the intro. Hi, it's your host, Christian. I'm here. I'm about to talk about some football, so let's get into it. First off, very sad, my Bills didn't play this week. I wasn't here to talk about it, so I'll talk about last week's game instead. We faced Arizona. I'm giving a lot of people flashbacks. Some bad things happen, I understand, but you know what? I'm not that mad at it. We watched greatness, alright? We watched one of the greatest catches in not even just DeAndre Hopkins' career, just like period. Like that catch was amazing. It's just unfortunate that it happened to us, is my take on it. The offense looked like we just died in the late third, early fourth. Came back late in the fourth. Then Murray Magic did his thing, you know. Ooh, add some like effects. Ooh, oh. I trust in Owen's editing. Maybe. Alright. I can't do it with this gum. That's too much. Alright. Let's get into the first game of the week. So, the first one I want to talk about is Panthers versus Lions. I want to talk about this one first off because PJ Tucker, my boy PJ. All right, so PJ played. He wasn't great. He wasn't terrible. He led his team to a victory. Threw 2 picks in the process, but I mean he did his job and he did it well. He had some good balls thrown. Pause. He did his thing. He did a good job. That Panthers defense though. Defense is crazy. That's all I'm gonna say about that game. Lions, step it up, please. Next game, Arizona versus Seattle. Seattle comes out with the dub. Kyler Murray, 29 for 42, 269 yards and 2 passing touchdowns, with Kenyon Drake adding on a rushing touchdown. Only had 29 yards on the day. Receiving, Chase Edmonds got a touchdown, Dan Arnold got a touchdown, Larry Fitzgerald led the team in receptions and yards with 8 receptions, 62 yards. Isaiah Simmons got a sack, just looking for anything notable. Yeah, and then on to the Seahawks. Russell Wilson, 23 for 28, very efficient, but only had 197 yards and 2 touchdowns. Did what he had to do, obviously, because he got the win. Carlos Hyde tacked on a rushing touchdown, 14 carries for 79 yards, averaging 5.4 yards per carry. Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf both getting a touchdown, with Tyler Lockett carrying most of the load, 9 receptions, 67 yards. 2 sacks being added on by Dunlap. Of course, he's one of their best defenders. Nothing else too notable. I feel like this is a game that was probably up in the air for some people. I feel like most people were to say, yeah, Seahawks would win, but with their defense, especially the way, the Bills, the way that we torch their defense, people have some questions about them. People have some real questions about them. In Arizona coming off the win, some people may have thought they have the momentum, they could come back, they can strike. Seahawks got 5 points in the fourth quarter. How do you get 5 points? But yeah, it came down to Seattle getting the dub. So congratulations, Seattle. I did not mean to do that. I'm sorry, Mike. It came down to Seattle. They get to 7-3 as their record. Cardinals are 6-4. And yeah, Murray Magic wearing out a little bit there. Next game, Seattle versus Jacksonville. Jacksonville fans, stay tight all you want, complain all you want. It's the Steelers. It wouldn't matter if Luton threw 4 picks or 0 picks. It's the Steelers. You're not a good team. You would have lost anyway. No one cares about your 4 picks. That's all I'm going to say about that. Big Ben doing his thing. 32 for 46, 267 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. With Benny Sneal Jr. tacking on a rushing touchdown. With James Conner carrying the load there with 87 yards. Receiving, Chase Claypool and Eric Ebron getting both 1 receiving touchdown. And Deontay Johnson carrying the load on the receiving end by a notable margin, 12 receptions for 111 yards with a 9.2 average. They did their thing. Minka got 2 of their interceptions. Terrell Edmonds got the other 2 of their interceptions. Bud Dupree got a sack. Tuitt got a sack. Correct me if I pronounced that wrong. But, the Steelers were just having a field day, man. Steelers were doing their thing. As a Bills fan, I'm happy for Ray McLeod. He's out there. He's doing his thing. He did more than Juju this game. So go you. He also had a rush for 3 yards. So, again, go you. It's my boy. Love Ray. I also love Juju. Juju, step it up, man. But the Steelers are... I get that the Steelers have... I get that the Steelers are, facing all these bad teams or whatever, but, I still personally think, they should be on the top of everyone's, power rankings. Any team that's undefeated by week 11 should be at the top of your power rankings. I don't care. Eventually they'll lose. Eventually they will face an opponent that will take them down. It's gonna happen. But still, I am not too hopeful for them in the playoffs. I think they'll make a decent run. I don't think they'll go super far. I don't think they'll get eliminated first round. Also, that depends on who they face. But right now, I really like the Steelers. I just don't know if I can trust them. I think they should be at the top of everyone's power rankings. I think that they're a really good team. They're 10-0. They're statistically, by the numbers, 0 losses. They're the best team in the league. Of course, some people are going to put Kansas City over them. There's no other cases to be made for any other teams. It's either they're 1 or they're 2. Most people have them at 2. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on the Steelers. Next game, Patriots versus the Texans. Deshaun Watson looks like he can do stuff again. Look at that. Both QBs having a pretty good day. Cam Newton, 26 for 40, 365 yards and a touchdown. I remember seeing a lot of Patriots fans happy that he hit a deep ball in the game. That was something that they were very excited for. Damian Harris tacked on a rushing touchdown. Byard got a receiving touchdown. Nothing too notable on the defensive side. Let's move on to the Texans. Deshaun Watson, 28 for 37, 344 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. With Deshaun Watson also having their lone rushing touchdown. On the receiving end, Kiki Cutie ended up getting one of their touchdowns, and Randall Cobb getting the other, despite them both being on the lower end as far as production, as Brandon Cooks, Jordan Akins, and Will Fuller will kind of be at the top there, with a notable fall off with Darren Fells only getting 2 receptions for 29 yards. Anyway, 1 sack for Justin Reed, 1 sack for Greenard. Correct me if I'm wrong. Nothing too crazy on the defensive side of the ball. This seemed to be most people are going to see this as an upset. I think a lot of people were going to see the Patriots as winning. I probably would have said the Patriots were going to win this one if I did my predictions. They didn't. Good for us, right? Good for the AFC East, right? But yeah. All the Texans can do is keep winning so that it makes Miami's pick depreciate in value, because Miami has no control over that, and the Texans losing constantly is just going to give them a better pick, which I'm upset about. But good job, Dolphins. You did a good thing. Next game, Titans versus the Baltimore Ravens. Derrick Henry is Jesus. That's all I got to say about the Titans. For the Ravens, Lamar Jackson not having a good day. 17 for 29, only 186 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception, with J.K. Dobbins adding a rushing touchdown to that as well. Kind of happy for him on that. I like J.K. Dobbins getting some more looks, getting the majority of the carries here with 15 carries. Lamar Jackson not far behind him with 13 carries, but, you know, he's a quarterback. Or a running back, it depends who you ask. Dez Bryant's back. Hey, welcome back, Dez. Only had 4 catches for 28 yards. Wasn't expecting anything like too crazy from Dez. I don't know what people were expecting, but, you know, they're not coming out here to show off their new shiny toy. They're coming out here to win football games, which clearly they couldn't do. Anyway, Mark Andrews getting the weight of the world on his shoulders on the receiving end. 5 receptions for 96 yards and their lone receiving touchdown. Yeah, on defense, a couple sacks. Bowser ended up picking off Cam. Or not Cam. What am I talking about? Ended up picking off Ryan Tannehill. My brain is still on the last game because I just completely dismissed the Titans because, you know, it's Derrick Henry's team. I mean, Tannehill had a good game, don't get me wrong. 22 for 31, 259 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Obviously, we saw where that pick went to. Monty Hooker ended up getting the Titans interception. Derrick Henry, I keep talking about him, but here's the stats. 28 carries for 133 yards, 4.8 average, 1 touchdown. You know, Derrick Henry did what Derrick Henry does. And Lamar Jackson is not looking too solid. The team is still 6-4. People might start panicking. It's not time to panic just yet. All right, you still have time. It's okay. As a team who has been losing to good teams as well, I will tell you that you do not have to panic. As long as Lamar gets his stuff together, you guys will be just fine. I hope you guys will be just fine. I want to see you guys go far. I like the Ravens and I like Lamar Jackson, but if they keep playing like they did this game, I mean, they took it to overtime, so it wasn't like a bad game per se. It was just very even, I feel like. But you know, if you can't finish out those games, I mean, the Titans had 11 points in the fourth quarter and the Ravens only had 3. So clearly it's finishing that seems to be a problem for them. And then of course the overtime touchdown for the Titans, Derrick Henry calling game. Yeah, they're having flashbacks, man. They're having flashbacks. Next game, Eagles versus Browns. The Browns win. This is like a lose-lose. I don't like the Browns and I don't like the Eagles. So whichever team won, I didn't like. It's not that I don't like the Eagles. It's that I want someone in their division to win the division with 4 wins. I really think that would be amazing. And anyone getting a win in that division kind of, you know, takes away from that. Especially the Eagles, since they were already 3-5-1 before, 3-5-1. So Cleveland Browns winning is good for that aspect, but I also kind of don't like it's not that I don't like the Cleveland Browns, it's just that I think they're kind of like a little more on the poser side of things. They did have a pretty solid game though. Baker Mayfield, 12 for 22, only completed 12 passes for 204 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Nick Chubb doing what he does on the ground. Kareem Hunt getting their lone rushing touchdown. Denzel Ward gets a pick. I'm not going to say his name. Taki Wopa. He got the pick 6 everyone was talking about. Wasn't that his first career pick, I believe? I believe it's his first career pick. First career pick turned into a pick 6. Happy for him. Yeah, on the Eagles side of the ball, Eagles still trash. Carson Wentz, 21 for 35, 235 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. For rushing, nothing too crazy. Miles Sanders had 16 carries for 66 yards, so, I mean, he was solid. He did his thing. Yeah, nothing too, like, crazy. Dallas Goedert, correct me if I pronounced that wrong, number 88, 5 receptions, 77 yards, got one of their receiving touchdowns. The other receiving touchdown went to Richard Rodgers, who only caught 2 passes for 48 yards. Average of 24. Naturally, that's how math works. But, yeah, lose. You kind of expected the Browns to win. If the Browns lost this, that would have been really funny. But, it didn't happen. Next game. The Saints versus the Falcons. Saints are still good. Falcons are still bad. Nothing new. Matt Ryan having a pretty off game. Matt Ryan is probably one of the better quarterbacks in the league. You know, leading the league and at least top 10 in the league for passing yards, and I believe passing touchdowns as well. Sunday, only went 19 for 37, 232 yards, and 2 picks, throwing no touchdowns. Todd Gurley carried the weight. There wasn't much weight to be carried, as he carried 8 times for 26 yards. It's just they didn't seem like they can get anything going. They got most of their points in the second quarter, and by most I mean 2 field goals. So clearly they weren't able to do much. Calvin Ridley doing the most as far as passing goes with 5 receptions, 90 yards. Gage coming in second with 7 receptions, but only 58 yards. Let's check in on Drew Brees and company. Drew Brees. Taysom Hill, 18 to 23, 233 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. People seemed really wishy-washy on Taysom Hill. But, you know, he did what he did. I see some people saying, you know, stick to tight end. I see some people that weren't, like, necessarily disappointed with what he did. I mean, he didn't. I don't remember if he fumbled, but he didn't turn the ball over as far as throwing an interception. So, I mean, he played. He did what he had to do, basically. I mean, he got his 2 rushing touchdowns, which is good for him. Latavius Murray also doing good on the ground. 12 carries, he had 49 yards. Taysom Hill had 51 yards on 10 carries. Alvin Kamara had 45 yards on 13 carries, so the carries were very spread out for this game. And of course, Alvin Kamara getting their other touchdown. Michael Thomas getting 9 receptions for 104 yards, so yeah, Hill obviously leaned on him a little bit, as you would. It's Michael Thomas. Emmanuel Sanders coming in second there with 4 receptions for 66 yards. And I don't know how I'm not sure about the whole like Drew Brees situation and what's really going on. This is interesting. I'm looking at this now. Michael Thomas kicks himself for the uncharacteristic drop. Jokes Taysom has a fastball. The Atlanta Falcons confirm they are a bad football team. If there was any team that they needed to face that they could come out and they had to have Taysom Hill in at quarterback and had to rely on him the entire game instead of a trick play here or there, it would be against the Falcons, because the Falcons aren't a good team. Sorry, Falcons fans, they're just not. You need to do something. Do something quick, because you have Matt Ryan, you have Todd Gurley, you have Calvin Ridley, and Julio Jones. You got pieces. They're just the puzzle's just not coming together, and it hasn't came together in a while. It's been a minute since the puzzle's really, formed. I mean, nothing you can do about it this season. You're 3-7. You're not going anywhere. But this offseason, you need to do a little bit of soul searching if you wanna fix some things up. Probably hope for the next year. I doubt it. Next, Bungles versus the Washington football team. The Washington football team is the only. I'll make an exception for their division. The Washington football team is the only team I want to see win out of that division, because it's Washington. I don't know. I just like them. Unfortunate what happened to Joe Burrow. I believe he's out for the season, so that's a real tough blow. Joe Burrow was having a really, every time that happens, I'm gonna, make up for it. Joe Burrow was having a really good season. Him and Why can't I remember his name? Am I dumb or am I stupid? Hold on. Where is his team? Chargers. Herbert. Never mind. I didn't need to look at it. I remembered his name. What's his first name? Justin Herbert? Am I tripping? Am I tripping? It is Justin Herbert. I got it right. I knew that. The Jets were... they faced the Jets. They were the next game. Why was I talking about him? Oh, yeah. Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, both having pretty good seasons. Not pretty good. Very good seasons. Excited to see how both of them continue their careers because they both look like they have a lot of potential to be great. It's just a shame that Joe Burrow's season had to end early. As far as rushing, I did it again. As far as rushing goes, they could not get anything done on the ground. The most anyone rushed for was 19 yards. So you did good. Good job. AJ Green got a touchdown. First time since, 2018? Good job. Tyler Boyd led his team, 9 receptions and 85 yards. On the other side of the ball, the side of the ball that really matters, the Washington football team, Alex Smith, still coming in strong, doing his thing. Comeback king, not really. He was all right. 17 for 25, 166 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Antonio Gibson doing it for him on the ground, 16 carries for 94 yards and a touchdown. Terry McLaurin, of course, carrying the weight of the load on receiving, 5 receptions for 84 yards. Steven Sims Jr. ended up getting their lone receiving touchdown. And, it's Washington. They're going to keep doing what they do. The Bengals are going to continue to be bad. Washington's going to continue to get maybe, 1 or 2 more wins in the season and then call it a day. I want Washington to be good just because everyone clowned them at the beginning of the season, and it's just fun to see them win. I don't know. I like their players. I like Alex Smith. I like McLaurin. I like J.D. McKissick. I like Gibson. Logan Thomas, obviously, former Bill. Ronald Darby. Montez Sweat. Chase Young. A lot of guys that I like on this team. And, of course, their coach. So, I just like seeing them win. I don't know. It's probably just a personal thing. Also, that hit on Joe Burrow from Chase Young. That was a good hit. That's all I'm going to say about that. Next game. Jets versus Chargers. The Jets continue to prove that they are the worst team in the NFL. They are terrible. They're so bad. 0-10. The exact opposite of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I almost forgot who they were. Yeah, it's not going good. Joe Flacco at quarterback. 15 for 30, 205 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Frank Gore had 15 carries for 61 yards and a touchdown. P. Ryan also knocked up a touchdown. Brashad Perriman and Christopher Herndon. Is that 4? Ivy, that's 4. The 4th. How do you keep that tradition going so long that you get to 4? That's crazy. They both had touchdowns. Denzel Mims did the most, 3 receptions, 71 yards. They're the Jets. They always find a way to lose, I like Joe Flacco. I like Frank Gore. There's another team where it's like I like players, but, it's the Jets. It's fun to see them suffer. I like Mims. I like Perriman. I like some of the guys that they have on defense. I like Bryce Hall. Quentin Williams, one of the best interviewed players. Marcus Mai. Is it just Mai? He's probably one of their better defenders. I like seeing him play a lot. There's another guy I'm forgetting that's one of their best defenders that I like seeing play a lot as well. Let's look at the team that actually matters. The Chargers. Well, it matters in comparison. They're 3-7, but Justin Herbert, 37 for 49, 366 yards, 3 touchdowns, torching a New York Jets defense that deserves to get torched. Ballage carrying the weight. Again, not much weight to be carried. 16 carries for 44 yards, so we didn't really do much. But that's okay because they did it in the air. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and Hunter Henry all getting touchdowns this game, with Keenan Allen getting 16 receptions. 16 for 145 yards. So he really did his thing. He did his thing. Not much else to say about this team. Jets are bad. I mean, they were, I guess they kind of scared him a little bit in the third and fourth. They got 13 points in the fourth. They did nothing in the second quarter. If you even just like put up a field goal maybe in the second quarter. I mean, they got all of their momentum coming out of the half with that 13 points. That Dean English with those 13 points. And then all the Chargers really had to do was hold out. And of course, you can do that against the Jets. Next, the Dolphins. Dolphins versus the Broncos. The Broncos beat the Dolphins. Tua got benched. He's going to be a good talent. Don't worry. He's going to be great in the future. I'm going to very much look forward to seeing him and Josh Allen airing it out and those two teams being good. I said the same thing about Sam Darnold, even though it doesn't really look like Sam Darnold is going to keep his job for much longer. But actually, scratch that. Joe Flacco's starting. What am I talking about? Tua's going to be good. Don't worry. You know, he's coming into Mile High Stadium. It's one of the most difficult places to play in. And, you know, he's a rookie, so he's going to have games where he slumps. And this was that game. He had his game where he slumped. They benched him. They put Fitzpatrick in. And despite what the stats say, I mean, Tua was 11 for 20, 83 yards, and 1 touchdown versus Fitzpatrick, 12 for 18, 117 yards, but no touchdowns and 1 interception. I mean, you know, it gave Dolphins fans hope. They were like, maybe Fitzmagic can, you know, give us a comeback, but no, that wasn't happening. Parker and Gesicki, 2 of the bright spots on their offense, doing their thing. 2 of their only bright spots on offense, doing their thing. But you know, they're where they really come to shine is, as far as star power and their big names, is on defense. Of course, with guys like Byron Jones, Kyle Van Noy, Xavier Howard, Quan Davis, Shaq Lawson. You know, they have some guys that eat on defense. Anyway, Broncos, Drew Lock, 18 for 30, 270 yards, and 1 pick. Melvin Gordon scored 2 rushing touchdowns on 84 yards with 15 carries. Phillip Lindsay had 16 carries, 82 yards. That dual threat at running back still looks solid. Still a solid two-headed monster to have. Tim Patrick on the receiving end, getting 5 receptions for 119 yards. Good job, dude. Yeah, not much else to say. It's two teams that, you know, they're living their best lives, you know? Let them be. Also, Dolphins. What was that about taking the AFC East? Alright, I'm not going to talk yet because that's how you talk yourself into a hole. But all I'm saying is I'm very doubtful. Could it happen? Sure, it could happen. You know, the Bills usually find ways to mess things up. That's what us Bills fans are accustomed to. Not that they're gonna. I doubt it. The Bills we're pretty good. Yeah, I trust in my Bills. I don't trust in the Dolphins. Them losing this game is good. They need 2 wins. Because if we tie, we're gonna sweep the Dolphins. That's gonna happen. We're gonna sweep them. So if we're tied, we're gonna win the division. I don't remember if I was called like crazy for this, but I remember one of these episodes, all the guys like talking about the Miami Dolphins and how the AFC East in general was really a toss-up to see who would win this division. because you can make a case for anyone making that division at the start of the season. Now, midway through, we're seeing, obviously, the Bills are leading, as most of us thought would happen. The Dolphins giving them a solid run for their money, which I'm honestly happy for them. The Patriots, who are struggling, and then the Jets being the Jets. So, interesting to see how that all plays out, and continues to play out moving forward. Next game, Cowboys and Vikings. Vikings, you lost to the Cowboys. How does it feel? Doesn't feel good. But it's Andy Dalton, so I'm happy. 22 for 32, 203 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 pick for Dalton. Ezekiel Elliott, 21 carries for 103 yards. Pollard also having a good day on the ground. Only 5 carries, but had 60 yards and had his touchdown. As far as receiving, CD Lamb had a touchdown. Dalton Schultz had a touchdown. Zeke Elliott had a touchdown. As far as the Vikings, Kirk Cousins, 22 for 30, 314 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Dalvin Cook, proving to be one of the best, if not the best running back in the league. 27 carries, 115 yards, and 1 touchdown. On the receiving end, Adam Thielen, 2 touchdowns, 8 receptions for 123 yards. Justin Jefferson is second on that list, 3 receptions for 86 yards, and 1 touchdown. Dalvin Cook's good. I like Dalvin Cook. It's unfortunate, Vikings, that you're still not good, because you can't win games. You have all these names that you look at them and you read them off, and you're like, how is this team only 4-6? But they are. No, they are. You got, this is just on offense, but you got Dalvin Cook, you got Kirk Cousins, who, depending on who you ask, you got Adam Thielen, you got Justin Jefferson, who's one of the best rookie receivers. Him and Chase Claypool are my 2 favorite rookie receivers so far throughout the season. I think they're both doing amazing. Kyle Rudolph is still a solid tight end. Irv Smith, backup tight end, who's doing well. Look at like an offense like that, and it's just like, how are you guys not doing that well? And you can blame the defense, you can blame whoever you want, but I don't know. This is a team that I feel like you just have higher hopes for, and then they just let you down. It seems like a team that's letting some people down, in my opinion. They're letting me down. You lost to the Cowboys. That's what's letting me down. But it's Andy Dalton, so we're happy. Packers. Colts. Packers. Green Bay Packers. You fucked up. You did. You really did. Yeah, you did a thing. You did a thing. You had that big old throw from Aaron Rodgers in the 4th quarter. He puts him back into well, first it was that Colts touchdown. Then Aaron Rodgers, Hail Mary King, puts him into field goal range. Field goal gets knocked up. And then, the same guy that, caught the pass to put you in the field goal range, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, the same one is the one who made that horrific drop. That drop that everyone is talking about in overtime. And he's getting death threats over it, which is terrible. That's awful. I don't know why, but there are a lot of things you can blame, and to blame it on one receiver who made one mistake and to send death threats to them, But I keep on bringing them up, but as Bills fans, Bills fans can't talk, sending death threats to Mr. Wide Right. That was a bad time. Yeah, this was tough. This was a tough one for Packers fans. Both teams are now 7-3. Indianapolis Colts, despite maybe a little rocky start, some people maybe not being too high on Phillip Rivers, questioning how well will this team do. I think there were some questions. Those are kind of getting turned away a little bit. Some people may still be questioning Phillip Rivers himself, but as far as the team goes, people are saying like, nah, they're like, this is a solid team. it's a solid team. Green Bay, obviously a good team. Pissed off. Aaron Rodgers is he's definitely pissed off after that loss. Phillip Rivers was 24 for 36, 288 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 pick. Jonathan Taylor doing his thing on the ground, 22 carries for 90 yards. Michael Pittman Jr. ended up carrying the rest of his receiving corps. Not really. It was pretty spread out. But he had 3 receptions, 66 yards, and a touchdown. Trey Burton had their other touchdown, and Jack Doyle had their other touchdown receiving. Rocky Ya-Sin got a pick. I didn't know that. Nice. Rocky Ya-Sin. I love Rocky Ya-Sin. As far as the Packers, Aaron Rodgers, 27 of 38, 311 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. An uncharacteristic pick. I feel like Aaron Rodgers is one of the safest yet best quarterbacks in the league. He's not one to really throw like picks all that much. But he's doing his thing. He's good. Aaron Rodgers is good. If you doubted that, then stop. Aaron Jones, 10 carries for 41 yards, 1 touchdown. Devontae Adams, 7 receptions, 106 yards, 1 touchdown. Robert Tonyan Jr., correct me if I was wrong, 5 receptions, 44 yards, and a touchdown. And then Jamal Williams getting their other receiving touchdown. Sorry, Packers fans. Next game, Chiefs, Raiders. High-scoring game, 35-31. Raiders tried, maybe squeaking in some final points. They didn't score anything in the third quarter. Kansas City consistently scoring while Vegas started off hot, kind of burned themselves out. Tried to come back in at the end, score some last-minute points, get back in there. Didn't happen. Patrick Mahomes is, going to be Patrick Mahomes. He throws, his first or his second pick on the season. He has, no interceptions. Patrick Mahomes was 34 for 45, 348 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Travis Kelce threw a pass for 4 yards. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 14 carries for 69 yards, nice, and 2 touchdowns. Le'Veon Bell also had a rushing touchdown. I'm sure he's happy to be on a winning team. Sorry, Jets. Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill both having very good days receiving. Kelce has 8 receptions for 127 yards and a touchdown. Tyreek Hill has 11 receptions for 102 yards and a touchdown. On the other side of the ball, the Raiders, Derek Carr, 23 for 31, 275 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. Joshua Jacobs, 17 carries, 55 yards, 1 touchdown. Waller, one of the better tight ends in the league. I'd put him top 10. I really like Waller. 7 receptions, 88 yards, 1 touchdown. Nelson Aguilar also knocked on a touchdown. As well as Jason Witten knocking up a touchdown. Yeah. Kansas City's 9-1. Probably the favorites for the Super Bowl at this point. They're my favorites. Super Bowl curse is a thing, but it would also be nice to see them go back-to-back. In my opinion, I want to see them go back-to-back. I wouldn't mind it. If not the Bills, then them. The last game we have to cover is the Los Angeles Rams versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady threw a pass to himself. Threw a pass. Came back. He caught it. Threw a pass again. Threw 2 passes in 1 play. Crazy stuff. Not really. Yeah, Antonio Brown's back. Surprise. He led the team in yards. 8 receptions, 57 yards. Chris Godwin ended up having the best day overall, as he had 1 less reception, 5 less yards. I believe that is 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 4 less yards. But he had that touchdown on top of it, so that makes up for it. And then Mike Evans also having a touchdown. On 5 receptions for 49 yards. Ronald Jones wasn't really that notable. The run game really just wasn't notable, period. Leonard Fournette had a rushing touchdown, though, so that is notable. Brown had a rush for a yard. Cool. Tom Brady, 26 for 48, 216 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Is Tom Brady looking a little soapy there? A little washed? Maybe. Does it matter since they're still 7-4 and still gonna make the playoffs and probably make a solid run in the playoffs? No, it doesn't matter. I mean, as long as he's dishing it out to his receivers, he has receivers that can make plays and do things with the ball. So, he just has to do his thing and not throw picks like he's doing now. Rams, Jared Goff, 39 for 51 attempts, 376 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Malcolm Brown, same thing for them. This game was not a game if you like running backs. This was not a notable game at all. Rushing was just not a thing in this game. Cooper Kupp had 11 receptions for 145 yards. Robert Woods had 12 receptions for 130 yards and a touchdown. Van Jefferson had another one of their receiving touchdowns. Cam Akers had the other receiving touchdown. Jordan Fuller getting the 2 picks on Brady. I forgot to check the other side of the ball for the Buccaneers. Jordan Whitehead and Jason Pierre-Paul getting those interceptions for the Bucks. Rams come out with the dub. Bucks lose. I probably, if I did predictions for this week, I probably would have picked the Bucks. I would have picked the Bucks to win. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of bittersweet. I don't know how to feel about the Bucks. I don't know whether to be like happy that they're losing or sad that they're losing. You know what I'm saying? Because like Tom Brady, yeah, whatever, Bills fan, we hate him. Tom Brady. But I mean, I think it's also cool to see him, on a different team, doing his thing, potentially winning, doing well. Not all of us just despise Tom Brady, okay? That's not all of us. I don't know. But I do enjoy seeing... Do I enjoy seeing the Rams win? I don't know. The Rams I'm kind of iffy on as well. I mean, not iffy as in, like, are they good or not? Because obviously they're good. But, it's just iffy on whether I like them or not. I don't know. This game is really just like... This is like one of the most bland games for me. It's just like, it's a thing. They did it. They played. Even though this is one of the least bland games probably of all the games here. For me, it's just like, 2 teams. Both good. One team won. I don't know. That's just me. That is all of the games this past week. Tune in next week. I may be with people next time. And we'll talk. We'll talk sports. We'll talk about football. We'll talk about football things. Football is life, you know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for tuning in. Thanksgiving games are coming up. I can't even say Thanksgiving correctly. My brain hurts. I'm gonna go. It's been fun. Is there any way I can end this? That's cool. I'm not a cool person. I don't have cool things. I have a Hamilton sweater. That's pretty cool. That has nothing to do with anything, though. Yeah, tune in for a video probably after this. What's the video going to be on? I don't know yet. Owen, tell them right there. Tell them what the video is. It's right there. It's right there. I don't know yet. I didn't make it yet. That's why. Bye.